احنا خمسين دول ولسه بتعمل كل معطي كم معطي زيادة من 4 عامات لسه ما يكون أبيك حاجة لا معطي دم عن تدمع تمسك سماع صحافة وكنبر سخرنا المعطي سلاد قناة وأنا دم كأنه حب سمعتي بحكي مو دم أفتح معطي ربع عمتي مو أبشات دم أفتح الموت هلا كل ነገር እንዳለ ኣብሲያትን ኣብታ መዓልታት ትኮን ጥራሕ እዩ በቃ ድሕሪኡ ዘሎ ድሕሪኡ ይሕሰበሉ ግን ኣብታ መዓልቲ ኣብሲያትን ኣብታ ክትኮን ድሌት ነይሩ ኮይኑልና ድማ እዚ ዓብዪ ነገር ዘሐጉስ ነገር እዩ ሕዚ ኣብቲ መፅሓፍ ገድገድ ሰብ እንታይ መስሎ أنا بدعوة صحافي مصر بدعوة خطأ بوجير لبني صوب صحي أنا صحاف ونات وعد لا بعد مصحف كل شعب كتير أتهلا بقى دول graduate مسكرت سخفت سلزي بالله وطعي دعوة أسيت تجنبكم مصحفتك صحفية دقيق بالنير دعوة يدخل دعوات نهو حسراوي تكون بزعا خالي نعم صحف كأتي يزبني خمت زوادة دما دول graduate مسكبة تحولي دما أبتقراي مسكادس بزعاس أحدثنا مسمت أنا كوفي مسحف دما زقرم مساوشا محز يخيل يسو مالت مش معلتها مش ساعتها عينتي يصحف عم بزوح مساوشاتات ميهو هذه بقى كارت تجرام سمالسنا يدلون graduate غير لا بقى تربيز إشحاف بيجون مش مصحف جميل تأخذ صحف لا خير هو جن دوكومنتات توريدو يتصحف نير تأخذ صحف لا خير جزعوني وركو تحرقن تحري تغافل كورهي نعين موسين جافتيون ريتوكم حاول يريدنا مصحف صحف خمسة شو تردي ما صحف خمسة دون فلتنا قلت عايز مصحف فلتنا هذا خلتنا ما رأيتنا هنا يوم ناي مشي تعب مصحف رأيت إيده ونيرو متى مصحف ولدي نيرو مقاحوات نيرو مقاح زعوا مصحف خالد خالد نحن كنا أيتفلتنا نقول
أسترو
هم وصح قالوا معلتي ده بين وقع بتأقني يسحقوا بقى صحفي أفتي دحريت لهم بقوا مقناتي صحيفه مثلا أنا ريتوتاتي ده دحريت صحفني بتصل نيرو كاو حمام هتيرو بدنجات يا قلت في نيرو كلنا مذكرها ترى شعور ناس يبقى شعور تاني عمو في نيرو تحارب يا زمس متى مش عارفة خلتينا تصحف طريقنا يا سلي نبتنا شو تهذي هنا نيرو حاسة سيبنا لما حسبنا يسلي بنشوفي الناس النورة هم نصحفوا كنا حتى مودينا إن هم تدخل كنت عملت نزو كل تجار ونوين ولا وايد مصحف حاسس كده مصحف عربي مصحف حاسس ونستفيد ورا كتعمل صوت ما نشوف أو كمبيوتر ينعاد يشتغل بينا سلم الفجر الحمد لله كمبيوتر حاسقنا أحد يعني ولا سامس مثلا مثل رجع بس هذا عرفة نقوم بالعيش صحيح كنت شو جميلنا صحيح ما قال الصلاة والتوفيق سجلنا له عم بدم بذنبه أو تصحف وخليت رئيستاته لا بعد من لو تجربنا قرب أو قربوتها نلعب تحت زبدنا يعني فك أما نقول ما جنا كوسخلو سايجر نيرو عبزي زاتو هذا خلي زي المستوشى بزعاز كوسخي نعمل مستعس من دشاز دورو وقعي كوسخلو يدو نيرو ناي لحد ما لقيت كوعي أوروبا أمريكا خيدو دقات أما نجارات كوسخلو يدو نيرو كلنا ጋዜጠኛታት ምስ ጋዜጠኛታት ነውሕ ሳይ ስለዝገበረ ናይ ህወሓት ገጽ ኮይኑ ዘጋጠሙ ፍሉይ ነገራት በብመዓልቱ ስለዝኾነ ጋዜጠኛ ግን ናይ ኩሎም መፅሓፈ ግን ፍሉይ ነገራት ክፅሕፍ እየ ከምኡታት ዝበለ ነገር ነይርዎ ስለዚ ናተይ ስራሕ ሜንሊ ነዚታት ነውፅኢናዮ ስለዘይሎ ታች ትገብሮ ኮይንካ المستوشى تطعيس ولي نتن المستوشى حسكا ولا نايتن لن فوتوكوبي ول نايوعدو تصحو زلو مقمات كأني يقولوا قال انت هاكوينو قال دما أو جزاو زلو نوت سيت آريسو قال دما أو سمعتها تحاولتي قالوا دوكومنت زيزو لهم ونيرهم كلهم منت جزانا تقنا تعيشون غير موئل تناي كم كل جزا كم كل جزا تقرأ جزا تعمل ورقة كاسرنا أو زي خوينا بقى مخناتو وزر لسوي تحس بيت قاسلو سيترفع بتاع سيترفع قد بتن ترتاتي حاولت سماعات ما خمس تفطوا عطم تيترفع تيمو زي زيتات قلنا سلازي خيل أوصينا هذا دوكمنت هاوزي وطاقل تن عم جمريا زلوا زل مأتو زوي مالت أفريقو بدور نالو بعد ما تصحفنا يا مالتي أفريقوات زلوا حدا هالأي خروج ما جنرال أتقدم تعرفوا ويت بحد سريحهم بزح محوات وين من الرسل القانون عقل كنجو زي مقدم جنرال كان تحفظ له كاول ما نأتو ما إحنا صحفنا يلو مشي دود بتاعنا صحفنا يلو كوتاعين كوتاعين في الترفة كبيج وان جميل كش عصاي لا وعد لا وعد مصطفاتي لازم إحنا صحفنا بزعوا منتو بزعوا سبنو التترفه تتصحف تسمى لي معناته زي كافتو بوليتيكاو هوتو سو سنة راح يبلغوا جامايكا كان خمسة بحريات نورو ثاني رقم بزح في الصحف تبهات مجال قالوا زيجن ما يوعدوا تموكرو كفتهم تموكروتاتو شوف خلى لي عم بزح مجال الخلاف ميلا إرشا تموكرو كاو ما فلان نورو تموكرو كاو تمجيلو سودان فيلو نورو تموكرو ناي جلسي ناي الصوماليا زمورو أمريكا أوروبا أوزن جريت ليكس بهذه يعني DRC بزح عدي بزح ناجر غير سلطانة تاريخ ولي زمزجو عمت دسيل بارتو حزز بزح جزء هو حتى يكون فترة ونبيهر الدولار أنا زيدو بزحتي أبناء الصومالي الصحافة وقالوا سؤال خاطر بتلا خالد السوق قدمهم تفاتروا النزي أمنيرهم قلمتات أي قلت فاكت استراح يتأمد كلا تراخيبنا عزقوان زي أمو زقوان زي ينتو مسريتهم بقى السوق ونوالو تردقوا تاريخ بتعامل بزحين أو خيط قالسنا من حجزنا نعمل بيتي حجزهم يبالي كله هذا جمايكا كشا متعرش عكشة أصل شعت تسعة حدي فرنجي منهم حاجة زي جورنا قلت زلا على حاجة زي جورنا دم تبغى السودان لا كلهم بشا زي بدون نجار لا أو دبلوماسي زي رخبنا يعود نا كافتور ميدا نورنا مستور ميدا نورنا عوتات أتحدث حسب مقال بزح زغلصو ነገር ኣሎ ኣብ ፐርሰናል ህይወቱ ኣብ ዝነበረሉ ጉዕቱ ኣብ ተመደበሉ እንድሕር ዘየድሊ ፀንቶ ዝፍጠሮ ኮይኑ ምስ ወንበር ይሞት ኣይሞትን ዓብይ ክስታዩ ምስ ወንበር ኣይሞትን ካብ ኤፈርት ሪዛይን ዝገበረሉ ምክንያት ስራሕ ስሎው ነይሩ ኢሉ እምበር ደኸ ስራሕ እዚስ ንኣይስ ትክክል እዩ ይብል ሓሲበ ኢሉ ስለዚ ሪዛይን ገይረ ሪዛይን ትገብር ድማ ካብ ማእኸላይ ኮሚቴ ኮይኑ ተመደብክዎ ስለዝኮነ ማእኸላይ ኮሚቴ እውን ሪዛይን ገይረ እዩ ዝብል ካብ ውጭ ጉዳይ ሪዛይን ዝገበረሉ ድማ ተደፊአ ነዚ ድማ ስዒደ ይቆም ስለዚ ብጣዕሚ ፅቡቅ ዝኾነ ናይ ሰብ ተመክሮታት ኣለዎ ናይ ኩሉ ናይ ኣብዚ ድሓር እውን ክሻዕታ ዝሃለወላ ክሻዕ ተዓዘባ ማለት እዩ እዚ ድሓር ኣብይ ኣሕመድ ምስ መፀ ዝተዓዘቦ ነገራት እቲ ኩናት ትጅመር already ሆስፒታል ይኖሩ ዝፅሕፎ ነገር ኣይኮነን ግን ቅድሚ ዝነበረ ግዜ ግን ፅሒፍዎ እዩ ምልክታቱ ሰበብ ናይ ምርጫ እናገበርካ ዝግበር ዘሎስ ይብል ዝኣሲሉ ሻዕታ ዝነበራ ተዓዘበን ንምንታይ እዮም ከምኡ ኮይኖም እቶም ሰባት ናለ ብዙሕ ነገር ይትም ብጣዕሚ ብዙሕ ነገር ኣብ ናይ ኤርትራ ውድባት ብጣዕሚ ብዙሕ ነገር ዘልዐ ምስ ወልደ ማርያም ዝገበሮ ወግዒ ብጣዕሚ ዝገርሙ ነገራት ኣለዎ ምስ ራእሲ መንገሻ ምስ ካሊእ እዚ እዚ ታሪክ ፅቡቅ እዩ ድሓር ኩሉ ዝመስሎ ኩላህና ክንዲዚ ተንፅሕፍ ነርና ኣፍታ ስራሕና ብስራት ክፍለ ህዝቢ ኣብ ክፍለ ህዝቢ ዝነበሮ ተመክሮ ከምኣ ገይሩ ተዘቕምጥ እቲ ታሪክ መገዲ ክፅሓፍ ዝኽእል ሓደ ኮሚቴ ኮፍ ኢሉ ዝፅሕፎ ይኮነ ብጣዕሚ ብዙሕ ዝኾነ ክፅሓፍ ዝኽእል ንኣና ንኩላህና ንኩሉ ሰብ ፅቡቅ ተመክሮ ዝኾነ እዩ ተውዕሉኡ ዝፅሕፍ ማለት እዩ ውዕሉኡ ይፅሒፉ وعلنا نصحف تنخل نيرنا أو كشنا ديا توعلو أو سراح ديا توعلو أو كلنا ودسر زقات أمورلو يقدر له بعزرلو شو صحف تزقت صفوق اليوم تعب من يوم ناي تاريخ صحفي ترى واجزيت موت أو أسبوع جزيت
مرقب رحدة
ما مرقب رحدة هو جرسلانسي حدا جزي رئيسه قويلهم عم قال يحط فيه كنت مرات هلا رئيسه قويلهم بزح جزي رئيسه سلاز هو تسبب خنزي هاي حسها شاطر توهبه خلي إبدا أفتح معلتي لقيت أمسكهم تصحفوا أفتح معلتي حقنا أي توز بتعمل إمبرسيف نيرو تزرع بقى كتلقى أمتكم شيء صحفوا زي أبوه حقهم هم مثلا نقبر نيرنا كاف تاريخ بزوح من مهار بزوحنا قال كنستخاخل بزوحنا قال كنعذب مقالنا نيرنا سلازي تي أبو خيدنا يحلفون أبيون جالس كله أب سياتل تبع كوميتي كوفيد كذي خبيت كذي ኣብቲ እዋን እውን ግን ከም ንብስራት ንፍዋር ዓበቤታ በርሃይለ ቋንቋ ይብል ما تفيك دي سهلة تقولنا هذه صحاي كم جمري أفتنا حكمنا خيدي تأشميرا إلو بدميرا كاوكا قرش أفتي سمس حاجة فحزي قرش برهاني دورس الأسل يوم قايد يرمنا أو اللي أقول في الصوم أزخوني أخون وان أبلا بالليل حاجة زي ما هذا سقط من دارب زخوني أخون جزء أون أفتي سيرفيس جزء ما بعلو يتنا كمحور سايديرهم ما أدري خبيت جزء ينيرو لو حس خاف ما تصير زعفوت حديث يذكروا عن توني زخاخروا نيرة شو مريت قرب قلت تقول لي مثل النهار بزح سووني تذكري عقل تمعت الساعة لا تسربيس قرنا لا معت تذكروا أبو إنسان شو منتن نقول شو معتس تدوي لا بنقول ما قلعت تسلعي شو أفتي تنكافل تهدنا أفتي جنرال سيرفيس أنا زيرو نيلير معناته تأخذ حسب أزير يسادلو تيجمع على دماء تسألعي أتلونا خبيت جزئيني زي ما نمسل زفلطو لأنه على تاريخ وزي الله كل سنة فامرو تعاتيو أبتين كذا نورو جزئي سلاد قنا بتجزيتي كله كوميونيتينا استقرارنا حاجات تعملنا مسكين بيتساب نحنا كو حتى الجماعة ما تفرقوا بس شيء زي ما تقول تعرف شو من هنا خصوصا كي تأميله عزيمة ناقل زي شجر زي تقم عنا بيتساب دقنا ناي بعد بيتسابون كله تحققوا منهم كي تشجرنا حلفنا هنا بتاع مالت أشجاري اللي بيت السرحي كانت تنطق إنه يجري صبوق نتاس خلانا بيت السرح حاجة زنور رسل زخنة صبوق حلفنا هنا صبوق حلفنا ون زنا حافظي كنا رأيه كنا وطقوا وكل زلف علوس كل صحافظ وإذا كنت خير تعرف كنقول الإسقاطنا جزئيه نعرف حافظي حد نقرأ موسيقى الفيلم يقول لي حد مصحف قديم سلازي كنا صوت قديم حد نوعد بس ولو كان يجيب
For family and friends who are watching, also might not speak Vietnam, but just to do a very short note, this book was in my dad's words. He wrote it right before he passed, and so just know that the work, the effort that everybody else put in to review it, to make sure that the facts were, full names of people. Because my dad was, he just wrote his story, and he wrote it the way he speaks to you. And so my mom spent all these years, right, looking for the right information and making sure that the story was, we made sure that it's publishable. It's really his story, and it's in his words. So please, we just want you to remember that. And one funny thing that I think people should know was my brother, when he read the first draft, he didn't see anything about his family. None of us were in it. We're in the book. And so he was like, so you forgot you have a family. And so he ended up actually writing about us afterwards. But that's Jimmy, that's Jamaika. That's him. And he's always said he loves himself first. And then comes his family. That is, and you love it or hate it. And everyone actually loved it. So that's why the book is in English. And so We want to encourage those in the diaspora to also read it. Those who might not speak Tigrinya, there's a lot of history in here through his own personal experiences. And also the biggest message that came from this, also that inspired my mom as well, is write your story, share your story. As Tagaro, as anybody, every day what happens in your life, make a note of it, because your story is important for somebody else. And so that was kind of a summary that I wanted to share. And then my brother's going to say that Ed said.
So I'm just going to read መጽሐፍ በእንግሊዝኛ እዩ ካብ ኤክስትራክት ካብኡ ስለ ዘንብብ በእንግሊዝኛ ተዛሪበ So I just chose a few pages that I thought, a few chapters, not full chapters, but I thought would be interesting to read. And if you have the book with you, it would be great for you to go along with me. So you can start from just the beginning of the book. So after the forward and let's start with part 1. Part 1, where it's growing up and childhood.
What page?
This page 1. Page 1. Okay. So part 1. Is everybody ready? Part 1. Growing up. So it's about his childhood in Asmara and where he was born and about his family. Okay, so colonialism has inflicted numerous crimes upon nations and communities. One of its enduring impacts is the artificial disruption of natural societal development. The colonial boundaries were drawn arbitrarily, dividing ethnic groups across 2, 3, or even more countries. I am a product of this phenomenon in the Horn of Africa, where these colonial legacies continue to shape the region's dynamics. I was born at Gazabanda in Asmara on June 15, 1950. My parents were Kenyaz Mashkida Namasede Boshu and Tabarra Tarfatolga. My family heritage is deeply connected to an ethnic community with shared historical, cultural, and linguistic ties, as well as a comparable way of life. Unfortunately, external colonial deeds and influence combined with the actions of Ethiopian aristocratic rulers resulted in the fragmentation of the sentiments within the particular ethnic group. My mother, Tabarra Tarfatolga, is from Akhaluguzai, Eritrea. She's the daughter of Grazmat Tarfatolga Karamso, Kantiba. Her father and uncle have been imprisoned at Nakura Island near Massawa for opposing Italian colonialism. Nakura was a notorious maximum security prison during the Italian rule. Her uncle died while he was in prison there. Her father survived the prison and was released after the Italians had been defeated in 1941, but he died shortly afterwards in a car accident. My mother had 3 siblings, Tafla, Varanesh, and Gabramaste. My mother was a modern and forward-thinking woman in Asmara. She was a very active person who could drive a car, ride a bicycle and motorbike, play tennis, and even rode horses. While she was engaged in those activities that appeared highly unconventional for that era, her sister confided in me that on occasion tomatoes were hurled in her direction. She was not only physically active, but was also multilingual. She spoke 6 languages: Tigrinya, Tigra, Amharic, Italian, Arabic, and English. In 1958, she was crowned Miss Akhaluguzai in the beauty contest in Asmara. Although she was born in Asmara, her mother, my grandmother, Tubalis Barafi, took her to my grandmother's village, Gogolwai. My mother then returned to Asmara when she was 2 years old to live with her aunt, Mamat Ebad Barafi. Her aunt lived in the Italian area of Asmara, Gazabandatiyan, because she was married to an Italian. My mother hated the attitude of the Italian children in her neighborhood and used to fight with them. Her aunt repeatedly received complaints from neighbors, and although she tried to stop my mother from fighting, she could not. Eventually, my mother's aunt threw her out of the house, and at that time, my mother was sleeping rough and eating leftovers. When she found herself in such a desperate situation, my mother asked a Catholic priest to give her a chance to live in the convent, telling him that she had no family to support her. He allowed her to do so. She was only 14 years old. Although she was a teenager, she was very active and hardworking. She used to say, "My hand and my tongue are the same," meaning she worked hard and spoke loudly. It was at the time that her name was changed to Lucia. People in Asmara knew her by this name. The Italian nuns in the convent were abusive towards Eritreans, which my mother could not tolerate. So she used to fight back. At the age of 15, she was forced out of the convent and went back to live with her aunt once again. She had hardly left the convent before she was married off immediately. Her aunt arranged her marriage to a man named Mr. Yamana Zakata. However, she ended up divorcing him while she was 3 months pregnant. She then worked as a housekeeper for an Italian man, but when the British defeated the Italians, the British officials came to the house to evict her. She told them that she was pregnant with an Italian's child and had nowhere to go. They took pity on her and allowed her to stay in the house, but warned her not to sell anything that belonged in the house. I just said that because I wanted y'all to know where his mom comes from. And it's important for her because, a lot of people don't know his mother is fully from Eritrea. And his dad was Tigray, who grew up in Eritrea. Tigray nationalist. So the next page I want you guys to turn to is page 10. And so this is about how he was introduced to Tigray. Came to know where he comes from. Okay, page 10, Introduction to Tigray. As a young boy of 9 years old, I had the opportunity to visit Tigray for the first time. Accompanied by our father, my 2 siblings, Isaac and Ababa, I embarked on a journey to explore our ancestral homeland. We went with Mesfin Hailu, who was working at the U.S. consulate in Asmara. His mother, Manna, was the first cousin of my father. It was around 1960 that we went to Aksum with him to attend the inauguration of a new water pump near the obelisk that was installed by Americans. I'll never forget the slap I received from a huge American who mistook me for a local boy who had dared to stand in front of his guest. He was responsible for the water pump. When he realized that I was a guest who had come with Mesfin, he offered me a soda as compensation. After Aksum, we went to Yaha, where my father had built a small house and had a big compound with all kinds of fruit. At the time, Yaha had an extensive network of water irrigation systems that provided ample water supply to many households. Regrettably, the current conditions have taken their toll, leaving the area significantly parched and deprived of sufficient water resources. During that memorable visit, my father also led us to the burial place of his grandfather. Yaha. Moment as we stood in reverence at the final resting place of our ancestor, connecting us to our family's rich history. My second visit to Tigray was during the summer when I was in 10th grade in high school to learn about my father's ancestral place. I stayed in Yaha and its surroundings for about 6 weeks, visiting different villages near Yaha and Wagaret family, and visiting relatives. I was very much aware of my Tigray connection because of my father's nationalistic feelings. He always reminded us of where we were from and was deeply attached to his roots. My grandmother Abarash Hagos from Adwa, in a particular place called Dibduo, had an intriguing role in recounting stories of Tigray. Her narratives were captivating, and she had shared tales that spanned generations, shedding light on the rich history and culture of Tigray. Her storytelling was a cherished aspect of our family gatherings, and through her words, she connected us to the traditions and experiences of our ancestors in Tigray. My grandmother was very protective of my father because he was the sole survivor who went on to build our family. Speaking of her, we shared wonderful moments and had fun together. My father and his caring nature provided a weekly allowance to all his children, including his mother. However, for us boys, it was not entirely free of responsibility. During our teenage years, we would assist him in the business or wash his car to earn it. I particularly helped my father in his grain store, where I learned to measure and sell grain. This experience has proven valuable, as I can now accurately measure my luggage when I travel, even without the need for any measuring tools. Because I was the youngest boy, my grandmother would often send me to buy her favorite snack, which was dates. However, being mischievous, my brothers and I could not resist sneaking some for ourselves on occasion. When she discovered our little act, she would playfully extend her stick to hit us. We'd play along, pretending to be hit and scream with the laughter. Despite her eyesight not being perfect, those moments became some of the fondest memories we shared. My grandmother had a special attachment to me, and looking back, I wonder if deep down, she pitied me because my biological mother was not present in my life. Although her love and care made me feel cherished, I never felt a sense of gap in my life, despite the absence of my biological mother. My stepmother was always protective of me. When I was a preteen to mid-teen, I would stand up to those who tried to bully my elder brother Abdullah, who is hearing impaired. Whenever people came to our house to complain about me, my stepmother would embrace me and calmly tell them, "He is just a kid, and every child goes through such phases." Her support and understanding made me feel safe and loved, and I'm grateful for her guidance during those times. I always say I have two mothers, my biological mother and my stepmother, who I lovingly refer to as my real mother. The mutual respect between both was apparent, and it made our family bond even stronger. Whenever my biological mother visited Asmara, she would come to the house to see all of us, displaying the genuine love she had for the entire family. On the other hand, in later years, when my biological mother was in Asmara and unwell, my nephew from my father's side, Daniel Abdullah, stood by her like a son, displaying the enduring bond between my two mothers. This thoughtful gesture further reinforced the deep connections we shared. My mother, who raised me, passed away on April 1987. On my father's side, I had two elder brothers and a younger sister. I also had two sisters and two brothers from my mother's side. I enjoyed the love and affection of my siblings from both sides. However, my elder brother Isaac passed away on April 24, 1993, while visiting me in Addis Ababa. All our extended family members and many of our friends accompanied his body. We laid him to rest in Asmara in our father's tomb. My younger sister Alan Sahai passed away on January 5, 2001, and my elder brother Gianni on July 31, 2012. Unfortunately, I was unable to bury either of them due to the Ethio-Eritrean conflict and its aftermath. So